It's another night stream. It has to be, because I woke up super late. What about you guys? When did you wake up today? I love waking up late because it makes me feel very unemployed, which I think is good. How am I muted? I'm not muted. Taffy Forever, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. I found a way to get YouTube chat and Twitch chat to be combined. But the problem is, I can't see if somebody follows or raids, so I'm kind of screwed in that respect, and I don't know what to do. Wait, I have an alert box. Did you guys see it? It just worked. It just worked. That's so cool. Okay, anyways. I'm still trying to get the hang of the double chats. It's like really strange to me. So far, I only have Twitch chat working on my OBS, but I'm gonna figure out a way to like merge them or something like that to get them both working. I think I will be happy then if I can just get like a way to see the chat and like maybe my Twitch events dashboard. You should get Creator Labs. It does everything for you. I've never even heard of that. See, I'm doing a presentation on how to be a VTuber, and I literally don't even know what that is. You just mentioned it. Mikan. I'm not one of the Gorbillion Genghis descendants. Wait, is that why people's last names are Khan? Because I actually had a childhood friend whose last name was Khan. That is so weird. I was just thinking like Katacademy. Cause like, I don't know, have you guys ever seen Katacademy? He was low-key my math teacher. He helped me so much with math because all my math teachers were terrible. Caster Labs. I thought it was Creator Labs. Okay, I'll try Caster. I'll look into it. Your teacher drinks. I'm just kidding. Welcome in. Nimby, welcome in. Clip from Hell, welcome in. LJCL, welcome in. Fan Lilitialatus, welcome. And welcome in Reality Sand and Ain't It Man and Jane Chaser and Blue Metal and Cake Cheese and Dance Again and Taffy Forever and Notagon. Why did I pronounce that with a G? Okay, I'll try Caster Labs, or I'll look into it. I won't promise that I'll try it, but I think I will at least Google it. You never know, I don't know. Sometimes I'll have like viewers come into my DMs and be like, you should try this random technological thing. And then I check into it and it looks really privacy invasive and I'm just like, thanks. I'll try it. But I'm scared. I get scared. Hi, Chosen Moon. My name's not a slur. You don't have to censor it. What the heck, you guys? I'm here to teach you things today, and you're calling me slurs. You know, I'm your teacher. I could give you guys detention today. Have you guys ever had ISS before? In school suspension? This is in school suspension. Welcome to your worst nightmare. Welcome to the worst class you're ever going to take. And then we're gonna do a quiz at the end of it, and whoever gets the most questions wrong will be beaten from the rest of the class. Yeah, I know I have my short hair. I like it. I'm keeping it on today. I kind of don't remember like what I was doing for the rest of the week. Do you guys remember? I think I wrote it on Discord, but I forgot. But I think this will be my last day doing a non-hand cam stream. I got my notepad ready. Good, and I can also make this, I can make this Google Sheets or Google Slide. I think it's called a Google Slide. I'm gonna make this Google Slide, as a horrible student. You don't scare me. Stop, don't punch me! I'm gonna punch you guys. Just you wait, okay? Wait, hold on. I have to stretch. Yeah! After this, I'm gonna probably do the dishes. What are you guys doing up so late? Why are you guys in school so late? Why did you sneak in here, huh? 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 I feel like Usagi when I do that. Huh? I miss Ch4i. I'm gonna catch up a bit more. I've been doing manga reading instead of anime watching, but that's good because that gives me like, I don't know, like half a year's worth of anime episodes to catch up on, which is good. Okay, so this presentation is about what being a VTuber is like what technologies you need to use, the differences between certain technologies. Like if you're thinking about YouTube versus Twitch, I'll be explaining that. My mic is at 100% again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Anyways, because I know I have a stuffy nose, and I feel like if I keep it up to 100, you guys are gonna hear me like sniffling all the time. And basically it will also tell you like the difference between like a 3D model versus a live 2D model, because if you guys like watch a bunch of different VTubers, I know I do. For example, Sakura Miko has a 3D model and then I have a live 2D model, so I'll show you guys kind of like the difference between the good evening. Sai Griffith, welcome in. Thank you for the kiss, Chikawa. Okay, I'm kissing Hachiwara eating a I think it's a cookie. Looks like he's eating a cake pop with a blue star on it. Mwah. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. And I put Pecora on the front because I was like, if I put Gargura, then it's gonna be like too much. You know, like everyone knows who Gargura is. So I put something that only VTuber fans would know. Like if you know any VTubers at all, then you know Pecora. But you can know like Gura without knowing VTubers. Like if you've just seen her. Dream Chaser Pro, thank you so much for follow. Welcome, welcome. Working, good. But yeah, anyways, I like Pecora. I think she's funny. So I put her on there. That was kind of my genius. That was my genius plan. I just kind of put VTubers on there that I thought a bunch of people would know. Because I was like, if I put 2 specific VTubers on there, then people might not know them. So I put like big indies and stuff. So don't get mad I didn't put Yoshi on there, okay? Every single person in Los Angeles knows Gura. That's kind of scary. Do you ever wonder if that's why she graduated? Because she couldn't handle that? What if she's from Los Angeles? And she didn't like want to walk around and see Gura every day, so she became Saba. Not that many people know Saba. Only VTuber fans know Saba. She like... My theory, I know you're not supposed to make theories as to why VTubers graduate, because I feel like that's kind of insensitive, but I feel like she graduated because she didn't want too many people. That was kind of like in her last song too. She was like, there's too many people looking at me was basically her song. So I think she graduated because she didn't want to deal with all that BS. And plus, what if her mom and dad hear her too? And then they're like, who's Gargura? You know? And then they realize it sounds like their daughter. Ugh, that'd be weird. Yeah, didn't the Dodgers win? So I think they won because of her. If she never sang, they never would have won. So that means that Shohei Ohtani knows who she is, which means that the husband of Japanese sports knows who Gargura is. I think she should be proud of herself. She said her parents were supportive. That's awesome. I'm happy for her because my parents, one of them doesn't know anything about VTubing, and the other does know my VTubing, but they basically just ask me how much money I make every month, and I'll be like, I made $300, and they're like, why so little? And I'm like, I don't know, Mom. Dodger hate? They kill little birds? What does it mean? I'm not a sports person. I don't know. Her dad wanted to hang her play button on his wall. That's cute. That's cute. Welcome in, JK. I'm gonna call you... what's his name again? Jamiroquai? I'm gonna call you that. Okay. Once you make your money, I imagine your streaming priorities changed quite a bit. Yeah. I don't know. I think for my a lot of parents, they're kind of like in that fight or flight life position where they're like, if you're not making money, why are you doing it? Especially if you're like just 18 years old. So my mom was like, why don't you have a job? Why don't you have a job? And I was like, I'm a VTuber. So, and then I got a job. And then my mom was like, did you stop being a VTuber? And I was like, no. And then she said, I don't believe you. And then it was like, what do I say? You die if you work. She thinks that I stopped VTubing because I got a job. I don't know what to tell her. And I was like, no, Mom, I still stream it. She's like, sure. What do you do? What do you do at that point? I tried like really hard in the beginning to hide VTubing from my parents, but then I realized I couldn't because I had to work around their schedules a lot. So show her your clips. I'd rather not. I remember showing my mom my model a while ago and she got mad that I was flat. She was like, why don't you have big boobs like Botan? Because I showed her Botan from HoloLive. And she said that Botan gets more money because her boobs are bigger. And I was like, I don't want people to love me for my boobs. And she was like, okay. So yeah, that was the conversation. That was the conversation there. I'm not even gonna tell her that flatness is beautiful. I don't want to hear what she has to say about that. I don't want to hear it. Anyways, so to get into the presentation, I think it is important to answer one question. I just got a bug bite on my freaking shoulder. Ow. 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 At least it looks like a bug bite. Okay, so that is like one of the most important questions. Whenever somebody comes to me and tells me, I've literally had IRLs come to me and be like, I want to be a VTuber. I remember I went to get I think it's my hair done for a family event, and one of the girls there was actually talking about VTubers, but I didn't chime in on the conversation because I was just like, I know better than to talk about VTubers in public. One time I went to a school event and there were actually guys there talking about VTubers, and I was just like, who's your favorite VTuber? And he was like, I like Henya the Genius. And I was like, cool. That's all I said. Because if you say anything more, if you act knowledgeable, then they might find you and then they might kill you or something. I don't know. Or dox you. Or hit you in the head with a baseball bat. But, yeah, he was a Henya the Genius fan. That guy. And he spoke Spanish. I remember that. And he spoke Japanese. Yeah, you should never reveal your power level in public. Whenever people talk about, like, VTubing, I'm like, oh, yeah, I heard of that. Like, Gargura. And they'll be like, yeah, do you know anyone else? And I'm like, Gargura. I don't think anybody would try to be my manager in public. That would... Do you think people would actually try to do that? I feel like people only try to do that if they're your boyfriend or something. You should have feigned ignorance and made him explain what a VTuber was. I'd rather not. That would be even worse. And one time I saw a guy with a Korone pin in public. I said, nice pin, and then I walked away. Yeah, I like to keep my knowledge to a minimum. Like, I'm not gonna lie and be like, I don't know what a VTuber is, but I would say, like, cool. VTubers are nice. Oh, that's the joke? That guy wasn't my boyfriend. I don't even remember what his name was. I know a lot of small indies. I actually remember that I did a convention thing, and there was a couple guys, like, this wasn't recorded, but there was a couple guys that were like gloating that they knew female VTubers, like IRL, and I was just like, this is an omen that if you tell a person IRL that you're a VTuber, they're gonna go around telling people like that you're a VTuber and that they know you. So that's why you should keep it zip 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 zip. I should have said Hatsune Miku, that would have been funny. I don't even know my boyfriend's name. Shut up, you guys. I know his name. He's a floor tile guy. I wish I could interview him. That would be awesome. Some of the way people were about VTubers when that was a new thing, nowadays it's pretty common. Yeah. There was also a couple girls that came up to us at the convention that were like, this wasn't streamed, so again, I could say this, but they were like, I'm a VTuber, and I was like, oh, hi VTuber. It was just like, I couldn't do that in public. I couldn't do it. I'd have to go out with like a mask on. Some of them did. But anyways, so I think this purpose question is really important because for a lot of people it's really different. So a lot of people, they want to be big, like Iron Mouse. I remember when I started VTubing, basically my goal was just to be an anime girl. I know that sounds really like stupid, especially like because all VTubers are anime girls, but back when I learned about VTubing, there was very little indies, and so I originally thought that they were robots. I was laying on my bed, and I saw Murasaki Shion playing Animal Crossing and being racist to the villagers. And I was like, wait, this is a human? You could just be like an anime girl on the internet and then people treat you like the anime character? And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. So that was why I wanted to stream. And nowadays, I would say that streaming for me, it falls under this is a social outlet. And also expressing my self-creativity. Because a lot of the things I do IRL, like I don't really have a place to do them. Like making jewelry, like I don't have like any clubs or people that I can make jewelry with. So being able to like share my creations on the internet is like a really good outlet for me. Being an anime girl is the best. I love the idea of a robot being racist. That's just grok. Saw racism and thought, whoa, I can do this. No! No, it's for the anime girl parts, okay? Okay, listen. I learned about Korone after that, and I was smitten. I was smitten by Korone. So, I have a lot of friends, or like people who mentioned that they wanted to be a VTuber. I think I started as a VTuber back in 2020. Agreed though, it's just something fun, sharing arcade and gaming stuff, just chill stuff. And that's fine, yeah. So there's a lot of people who want to become VTubers because they want to be famous and they want to be idols. And that's also fair. Like, I think no matter what you want to do, because if you think about Sakamada Chloe, which a couple people actually love and they oshi her, that you should just own up to what you want. So there will be VTubers out there who are just in it to be famous and in it to be an idol and have people worship them. And I think if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if that's what you want, then you have to kind of steer yourself in a different direction than me, who just wants to do social outlet and express myself creatively. There's also some people who are like, I want to make VTubing a job. And that's cool and all too, but you also have to change your content. So like, if money is your goal and being able to make your rent is your goal for VTubing, then you're going to have to act differently than somebody who's just in it to make friends. So I remember one VTuber that I remember talking with who said that her goal was friendship is Riri Rara. Like, I'm pronouncing it badly, but Riri, like raw, like rar, rara. She said she's in it to make friends, and so was Froggy Hoppins. They have such cute names. What the heck? Do you want us to worship? Yeah, worship me, but not in a cute idol kind of way. More like a Norse god kind of way. Like, you guys should fight to the death, and then get on your knees, and then like put your head up and down, and and that would make me really happy. Fight! I miss Chloe. Yeah, and Chloe said that in her audition tape. She said that her goal was money. And she just owned it. And Cover appreciated that from her. There's also, what's her name? Iron Mouse. She said she wanted to stream with anonymity and also have a social outlet because she was disabled. And I think she said in an interview that she used a wheelchair and like she didn't have the same opportunities socially, like to express herself as people who could just walk onto stage. And she was also like opera singer and stuff too. So there's a lot of reasons why you could be a VTuber, but it's really important to make sure that you're set on your personal goal. So when I started out, it was the social outlet and it was to express myself creatively. And then I would say about 2 years in, I was like, wait, what if I could make this a full-time thing and I could actually make this my job? And then I tried to pivot towards the money route. And then I realized, no, I cannot do that. I needed to get a job, so I got a job, and then I was like, okay, I can relax and I can go back to my original purpose, which was a social outlet and to express myself creatively. I also didn't like that when I tried to focus on making money, it kind of restricted my creative processes, so it was worth trying it out, but I didn't like that. And then, now that I'm with an idol group with my friends, I have to kind of shift my purpose a little bit again, probably towards, like, idol. So we're doing idol stuff, so now that's kind of like a third, like a tertiary reason to stream. So that's all things to keep in mind. So as you do things while you stream, sorry about my like messed up throat. I don't know why it's so messed up today. The air is getting drier. Definitely clout. Imagine being famous. That's so hard. Hey, that's like low-key half the reason some VTubers VTube. So if you want to be famous, like that's fair. That's fair. So I forgot what I was saying. keep your tenets in mind as you stream and as you go forward with your VTubing self, because it is really important that you stick to your core values. And I will kind of explain how my core values influence my streaming as I go on. I'm asking real questions. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. So here we start with the concept. So the reason I started initially with the purpose is because the purpose should guide everything else, because we have like a bajillion trillion other slides, but the purpose is the most important. After that, you come up with your concept. So if you say, for example, I want to be super famous, you want to maximize your fame by coming up with a design that you think would have a mass audience-wide appeal. Now, I personally don't want a design that has mass audience-wide appeal. I want a design that has personal appeal, because I'm trying to go for the tenet of self-expression and creativity, which is why I look like this. But here's two examples of VTuber concepts. So this is the early concept of Uruka from Face Connect. I really did like this sample design, and this is from the Face Connect original art collection, which you can purchase on the Face Connect website for their merch area. And this is Mari Ian, which is a VTuber that was indie, but then she got adopted into Phase. And it's kind of ironic that we have two Phase VTubers here, but that wasn't the intent for me putting it on there. So, you know, what you want to stream, how you want to look, and your level of kayfabe all goes into that. And so, kayfabe is basically how much you play into a character. So there are some VTubers with little to no kayfabe, such as, Imi Bisu. Am I pronouncing that right? I think I am. Bisu. I think Bisu. She's a VTuber and VLer, and she self-admits that she doesn't have much kayfabe, but that she appreciates that it's like that because she could be more like real and upfront with the audience. And then there's some VTubers with a lot of kayfabe, such as Abigail Dovely. Pros with Abigail, which is a Christian VTuber who is basically just a Christian girl, and that's like kind of the crux of her streams. And her, let me go back to this. Her purpose of why she wanted to stream is because she wanted to spread the word of Christianity. So that's like another example of a purpose that someone could have. And so for corpo VTubers, their purposes, hopefully, for the sake of their company, is that they want to make money. So that's like another thing to keep in mind. So, as indies, it's cool because you get to choose your own reason and purposes. So I chose mine. Just be yourself. I don't see this kayfabe. I like kayfabe. I personally freaking love kayfabe. I love it when the VTuber is like, for example, they're like a dog VTuber and they're like, guys, I like dug a super big hole and I can't get out. I'll start stream later. Like, that kind of stuff is so cute to me. Yeah, it is borrowed slang from wrestling, from like WWE Pro Wrestling. So how you want to look should also play into your purpose. So if your purpose is to express yourself creatively and you want to be a furry because you freaking love furries, then be a furry. If you want to be an idol, then you should probably look like an idol and have an idol-like design. I like a balance between both extremes. I think I like it too, but not gonna lie, sometimes I do really like the extreme kayfabe. It's hard to find, but an example of a VTuber with really heavy kayfabe is Hyaku Mantenbara Salome, who is a princess VTuber from Nijisanji. She has really high kayfabe. So when Mari Mari Ian was an indie, she got transferred to Face Connect. She got picked up by Face Connect, and they gave her a new design. So this image right here on the screen is her second design, and you could tell that when they created this new design, they were trying really hard to fit the concept of a fish princess, which is what she originally was. So they kind of just like amped up the idea of a fish princess. And so whether or not you like it is completely your opinion, but I'm just showing you like this is how the concept can influence the design. So I think you come up with your purpose, then you come up with your concept. So for example, for me, I would say that I was an exploring fishermink. And then you come up with the design based after the concept. I've seen too many times that people just like draw a VTuber out. They're like, hey, this is cool. Then they come up with the concept around it, and then they decide why they want to stream after. And I notice that for a lot of people, it gets muddy, and then they have mental health issues. It's just a thing I noticed. So sometimes it's good to do things in this order instead. Salome, my beloved, she's so good! I love her songs. She's really good at singing. But her debut was probably one of the hardest debuts I've ever watched. It was such a long-sounding name. Hyaku Mantenbara. It's 1,000 circle rows. I don't think that's what that means. Why don't I look it up? No, 100. Hyaku Mantenbara. Hyakuman. Oh yeah, Hyakuman means a million, I forgot. And that also coincidentally made her the first Nijisanji liver to reach 1 million subscribers. Is that true? Oh, it means the field of 1,000,000 heavens. That's Mari _EN, Miss. Yeah, I know, I keep forgetting. My bad. I remember when she went to FaZe, didn't she fight to keep the _EN on? The colonoscopy photo. Was that really colonoscopy? I forgot. I thought it was her throat or something. One thing I realized as a VTuber is that this area of streamers feels saturated. What area in specific? Cause I don't know. How do you memorize these streamers' names? Cause I watch them. Cause I freaking like VTubers. Cause I'm broken in my brain. My throat. I think it's because I ate a sandwich earlier and I ate it too quickly because I was preparing for stream. But anyways, yeah. I think that's kind of like what I did is I decided to stream because I wanted to be an anime girl, and then I was like, how do I want to express myself? And I chose what I want, and then I came up with the concept. And then I molded the concept and the character design into what I liked over time. So that takes us to design. So design is bringing your concept to life. So a lot of people think that you do the design and then you do the concept after it, but you should really do the design after the concept, after the purpose. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Yeah, that was her throat. Yeah, it was her throat. It was her throat. I remember. It was so gross. I don't like that kind of stuff. VTubing industry, there's too many. I only stick to silly girls and like 2 other VTubers. That's fair. I just like that I could like dip my hand into a bucket of crabs and pick out a blue crab and a red crab and a yellow crab and an orange crab and a crab with a top hat and a crab with 1 leg and a crab with 20 legs. You know, it's awesome. So design. So I got a design from an indie VTuber on the left, Avispa Nectarinia. And I always mispronounced her name for the longest time. What did I said Avispa? No, I don't remember. I think I pronounced it Lavispa. Dr. Anova did the colonoscopy POV, I think. Ugh. I haven't even seen her debut, but her model is gorgeous. And then on the right we have Mori Calliope, which is a VTuber from Hololive, which you guys know. A Vespa. I say a Vespa because I'm stupid. Yeah, she's a monster girl now, but I couldn't find her new ref sheet, so I just got her old ref sheet. So, for the ref sheet, you know, you don't just need to be like a super rich person or like a super corpo girl to get a ref sheet. You can also have just an indie self-made ref sheet. You can draw it yourself and design it yourself, or you could commission it professionally. I'm pretty sure this one we're commissioned professionally, but I'm pretty sure that Avispa came up with the design herself. Most VTubers also do consider their personal mascots important, so they do put that into the designing process. I, for one, did not have a mascot when I started. I have Minky now. Let me get Minky and Mink Kawa. I just call him whatever I want. Let me see where he is. Yo, pull up. Look at this GIF I found. Shout out to Volpixis. Yippee! Why does it do that? Why does it snap? Why does it snap? Yeah, people have separate personal and fan mascots, which I'll actually get to. I'll get to in just a bit. Where's a Minky? I think I lost him. No. Stream assets. There he is. I found him. This is Minky. He's my personal mascot. And this is Gura's personal mascot. His name is Bloop. They gave Bloop to Gura. She didn't design him herself. I think that she got her from Ina, if I recall correctly. Fu and Moko have Peril and Ruffians, but Peril's like their mascot, kind of like their friend. So Sakanakama, you guys know, are my fan mascot. This is you guys. But then I also have Minky, who's just like my friend, who sits on my head and steals my food. So I see separate stuff these days just because I like it separate. I like it separate for some reason. But Bloop is Gura's personal mascot, but then her fan mascot is called Chumbuds, which is like a shrimp. I think Chumbuds is the shrimp. But anyways, I'll be so completely honest with you. I don't like Bloop. He kind of scares the crap out of me. He scares me. I have an inkling of a feeling that Gura didn't like him either, but I can't explain why. But anyways, whatever. What if KB mascot? You know, we discussed it. But we had trouble deciding what we wanted. We said that it would have to be something we all agreed on, and it would have to probably be female. How are you? I'm doing good. Welcome to my evil classroom. We kind of came to a consensus, but I forgot what it was. It was like... he only survived in merch, yeah. They tried really hard to keep him going on. We needed something female. Cause Kiki was scared if it was male. And we decided to have it be like a cute animal. And so we thought, like, what if Bunny Mink? Like, cause Kiki and Neppie are bunny and I'm a mink, and then Chai is like bunny themes as well. So we were gonna do like a devil bunny mink, but then we were like, that's kind of a lot. We wanted them to be the teacher of the class, but we just couldn't think of anything. So we were just like, we'll deal with it later. But that was kind of like the last thing that we said about it. But anyways, yeah, so bringing your concept to life is really important. And not only that, but you have to make sure that when people see your design, they get an idea from it right away. No matter how difficult your design is, people should at least be able to see you and be like, oh, that's a Gyaru. because that's what I'm a gyaro. I want people to look at me and think like, oh, that's a gyaro. And people look at Avispa and they think like, oh, she's a tomboy bug girl because she's got the bug antenna. Oh, this is like a Grim Reaper type character, so that's what people should think when they see it. I just found a VTuber whose concept is that she likes wrestlers, and his stream is exploding with wrestling fans despite being ill. I think having a niche gives you an advantage. That's for sure. I see a lot of bug girl VTubers are getting bug girl fans, so that's an advantage that they could have. The sounds of a Terriermon is just in vibes. I like dogs. I think they're cute. It would be cute to me if we could have like something that represents Kata students, but it's difficult. I don't want to make it too samey. Cause you know, Sakanakuma are different from straight faces, are different from Chumbas, are different from Champies. So like at the same time we want to keep them separate, but not too separate. It's hard. So next is a live studio VTuber model pipeline. Once you've hammered out your idea and you want to be a Gyaru mink girl. What the shart? Who'd want to be a Gyaru mink girl? Anyways, how do you get this concept into a full model? So first, you come up with a design concept. So use Cecilia Immigrant from Hololive EN as an example. She's from Hollow Justice, I think. She wanted to become a musically inclined automaton. Somebody pretty weird. Maybe. So then next, if she were indie, she would take this concept to an artist and be like, hey, make me a reference sheet. A lot of people merge this in step 1, or they straight up just skip this step altogether, which I think is such a horrible idea. Because then it puts your design in the hands of the model artist, who sometimes will overcompensate or undercompensate, depending on what you tell them. And then next, after you've got your beautiful reference sheet, then you take it to a live 2D modeler and you say, make me my PSD. So they usually give you what's called a Photoshop file when they're done with it. So the Cecilia Immigrant came out as a Photoshop file. And the artist of that Photoshop file is called the mama. In traditional Japanese, in traditional VTubing terms, we call the artist of the model a mama. And the person who rigs it is called the papa, regardless of their gender. So I did break this norm, and I called both my artist and my rigger my mama and my other mama, just because I don't want a papa. I'm weird. I wanted two mamas. So now I have an art mama and a rig mama. And I also know that nowadays some artists are kind of sensitive about it, so I don't know. But people just generally, you'll hear mama and papa regardless of the gender of the person. So if Cecilia were indie, she would be getting her PSD from her art mama, and then she would take it to her rig papa, and then she would say, rig me, and he gets her to move. And the art is done again in Photoshop, but you can also make art in many different programs such as Medibang and Clip Studio Paint, and then just export it as a PSD. And then you put that into a program here called Live 2D Cubism, and you rig the model. And then after that, your papa will give you the files, and then you put them yourself into something called VTube Studio, which is a program that helps your VTuber model use. And so VTube Studio, also known as VTS, is one of the most famous and one of the most accessible VTubing apps currently on the platform. There is literally like no other app like it. But there are other apps, such as like VC Face and I think Luppet is another one, but they're really old and they just don't work as well with the times, in my opinion. So a lot of VTubers do skip the step where they tweak their rig in VTS, but I did tweak my rig because I had like this thing where, like, fresh out of the box, I would just do this. Every time I open my mouth, which was really frustrating. And I'll show you guys right now what it looks like to tweak a rig in VTS. So you go to here, and you've got this gigantic list. You've got also this thing called your physics, So, movement config, if I turn it off, I don't move at all. If I turn it on, I move a little bit. Like I have a little bit of bounce. Turn it off, no bounce. And if I turn it all the way to 20, I have a lot of bounce when I move. So that's things that you want to decide how movement-y you want your model to look. Another thing is your physics settings. So you could just turn all your physics off. Now it just look like this. Now it's just raw movement. But if I turn it on, my hair does this. So it's wait, there is an open source VTubing software, but it's written in D. I've never even heard of that language before. Yeah, HoloLive and Nijisanji have proprietary apps that handle their tracking, but the unfortunate part for them is that it tends to look like fart. I'll just be upfront. If you see like Narissa Ravencroft's rig, it's like this. She looks like this. And it's so frustrating because I feel like with BTS they could do better. Hi, welcome in. Hoi Shia. And so yeah, that's also an example of physics. And then here you've got like your, let's do auto breath. If you see me moving, watch this happen. See how I'm slowly moving up and down? That's called breathing. If you turn it off, no movement. So breathing makes it natural, and if you look like really far on the right, there's a thing going up and down, and that makes you breathe. Basically, it's kind of creepy, but it is a lot about puppeteering. And you could also like talk about how much you want your mouth to open as well on that. So that's something you really should tweak. If you're a new VTuber and you just get a rig from a rigger, you don't just pop it into VTS and have it move on the go. You have to tweak it. A lot of VTubers don't tweak it, and it looks like fart. So VTubers can breathe manually. Technically, it's automatically, which is strange. That's strange. Yeah, notice that movement, but yeah, like all of the movements that you see here, I tweaked like every single movement literally after the rig, and I think that's what made it look so good. So I'm really happy with my mama. So thanks mama. All right, next we have other model types. So as I was saying, I just kind of give you guys like the rundown on live 2D VTubing because I am a live 2D VTuber. But there are other model types. There's 3D models. One of the most famous 3D tubers currently on Twitch is one called Zentreya, who's like a dragon heavy metal VTuber. A really famous one on YouTube is... Neppie's gonna shoot me. It's Sakura Miko from HoloLive. She's also 3D VTuber, and goddamn, her model's cute. And this one is really cool. This one is so epic. It just freaking looks like a live 2D with cool shading. So yeah, not all VTubers are live 2D, but live 2D is really the most common for indies. Some VTubers have multiple different types of models. So for me, I have my live 2D that you're currently seeing on screen. I also have a PNG tuber model, which I don't really use often because I tend to not need it. I also have a 3D VTuber, and I have a live 2D version, so this one. So 3D models use puppeteering apps such as VC Face and Waterdough. And typically, what you notice with the creation process of that is that you go to one person who models and rigs the model, and then they give it to you, and you put it into Waterdough, and then the movement works pretty good out of the box. So, I mean, I'm sure there's things to tweak, but I don't know. I'm not really a 3D tuber. So I'm not really the guy to ask for questions regarding that, but when I did use a 3D model, I used VC Face and Waterdough a lot. And it sucks right now because Waterdough works really badly on Linux, so I'm kind of waiting. Kind of waiting for the compatibility to come out so I can stream on 3D again. And then we have PNG Tuber. And you're probably wondering who the flip is this, but the reason I put this person here is because they are actually one of the most famous VTubers on YouTube that uses PNG. And the name is Jellybean. They do a lot of Minecraft React content. They do like short form clip content. And they're like in the Minecraft community, I think. So if you watch that kind of content, you've probably heard of them. They use... Yeah, Doobie3D is another new 3D tuber. Not sure how mature Ch4i is. But I hope it gets there. Me too. It would be really cool to see an open source live to the Linux native software. I would be very happy. So yeah, what Jellybean does is they have like 5 static images and they just kind of cycle between them depending on how they feel. We also have something called an animated PNG tuber, which is slightly different than the PNG tuber because it is a mix between a live 2D model and a PNG tuber. And basically, you've got all the expressions like pre-drawn in and like pre-added. And as you talk, it animates, so it literally looks like an animation. I'll make a pixel PNG tuber one day. That'd be awesome. I would get one and I could use it like while I draw or use something that's hard to do face tracking for it. So people can rig the PNG tubers to like follow their mice as well. It's really cool stuff. And you typically use the app PNG Tuber Plus to get it on your screen. So you don't use VTube Studio and stuff. Although you can. Most people don't. PNG tubers also typically don't use VTS because it is just not necessary. We also have something called customizable live 2D models, which I added just because I wanted to show that over the course of the years, VTubing has become a lot more accessible. So you'll see this VTuber model that's really famous right now, and you'll see variations of it on Twitter and on VGen, which is called Suika. And Suika just means watermelon in Japanese, but it is the name of the user who made the model, and basically it's just a pre-made model, so you could buy it for $125 and you've got the quality of like $1,000 VTuber model in your hand. The only difference between that and a custom VTubing model, besides it being cheap, is that you've got limited customization options. But because Suika has so many customization options, it has become one of the most famous ones. There's another that just recently came out, but I don't remember what it's called. There's a newish app called PNG Tube Remix that adds in the mouse tracking and experimental lip sync based on sound too. That's really cool! See, I didn't even know that! I would like to look more into that. I actually did make a PNG Tuber Plus model one time for my friend, but then she decided that she didn't want to VTube, so I made like literally an entire model for her for no reason! I still have it though. It is a Saka Nakama model. Which I could just give to you guys, like honestly. So yeah. Suika is $125, but there are other VTuber models that are like $20. There are also pre-made ones on a website called Booth. So if you just like look up like booth.com, it is like $20 to get like a really cool 3D model or 2D model. Yeah, nothing came of it. She decided she didn't want to, which is fair. She makes up for everybody. And then next we have content variations. So it's like, okay, now you've got the model. What am I supposed to do? I've got my model, I've got my lore, I've got my purpose. There's a lot of different types of content that you can make as a VTuber. You can just do special events content. So that is, or I'll start with the top right, which is YouTube and Twitch streams, which is probably the most common type of VTubing content nowadays. You could see like me, and if you go to Twitch and you just type in YouTube, there's tons, VTuber. There's tons of VTubers streaming on Twitch right now. Oh, cool! It has complex lighting in it as well. It's nice. I would like to release the model. It would make me happy if people used it. So yeah, you can dual stream as well, which I'm doing. So currently I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. Hi YouTubers! Hi Twitchers! And you can also stream to other platforms such as x.com or Rumble or Kick. But I don't know why you'd want to stream on Kick. Low-key. I'm sorry. And I'll get into the differences between all those platforms later. So that's like gameplay, that's ASMR, that's just chatting like what I'm doing now. There's also informational and deep dive streams. There's also short form content, which I've done a little of myself. People do Instagram Reels, TikTok clips, Facebook gaming, Twitter videos, YouTube Shorts. I make YouTube Shorts, so if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see that I have like little teasers on there. I do bead soup videos and the likes. A lot of VTubers do TikTok clips, so they'll clip their YouTube and Twitch streams, and then they'll put it on their TikTok so that people like they could reach a wider audience. Spicy Saka Nakama content on Kick.com. You guys are gonna kill each other on Kick.com. There's also long form video content, which is like it could be VTube video essays. There could also be extended clip compilations, which I've done before, and if you look on my channel, please, you'll see my extended clip compilations. I made some really good ones with Peak. Lorene, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard. I started watching this halfway. Yeah, the stream will be archived. Don't worry. Don't worry. Also, Kiki Pyon, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Welcome. So, then we've got ASMR. And if you don't know what ASMR is, basically it's like a type of content where people just produce sounds that are really nice. So, like, if you want to relax, you can look up like ASMR on YouTube, and it's just like there's tons of different types of ASMR. There's sexual ASMR, there's normal ASMR, there's ASMR for sleeping, and there's comedic ASMR. So I do a mix between relaxing and comedic. There's also song releases. So this is Ina's Nai Nai song release. I really like it. It's like a cover of the opening from Shadow's House. So check that out if you haven't. And usually all of this kind of stuff is released on YouTube. Yeah, I consume ASMR literally every day. Literally every day I listen to like at least one ASMR video because I'm broken in my head and I need nice sounds. To have a calm day. I listen to it when I'm on the plane too. Hi Mikan, hi Cyclops, hello. And so next is special events content. A lot of VTubers will host like SMPs. So if you've heard of Ume's SMP or the VSMP that's currently going on right now, that's a type of special events content that's streamed on Twitch. Then there's also VTuber concerts, which is, I just did a VTuber concert, and that's on the Katabasis YouTube channel, so if you want to go there, you can watch my first ever concert with my friends. And then we have contests, and then there's also like relays. So if you guys know Ch4i Cuddles, she's a VTuber who does a lot of relay events. Let me see what her most recently. They're really cool. Her most recent one was the Cozy ASMR relay. So if you like ASMR, you could like look into that. Oh, Riskio Nata, thank you so much for a follow. Welcome, welcome. And there's also paywall content. Oh, by the way, the reason why I put this guy here is because he's a Thai VTuber named Dakabo, and basically he was doing a concert in Thailand at a VTuber convention, and somebody clipped it and it went viral, and people were making fun of VTubers for like 6.5 months. So everybody should know who this guy is because you've probably seen his concert at least once. I feel really bad for him. People harassed him a lot, but he didn't deserve it. Also, a different type of content is paywall or Patreon content, which a lot of... So I did ASMR as a banana. Would you do it as an orange? I would. I could do orange ASMR. I could do only orange stuff around my room. Never heard of him before. If you just look up the word VTuber concert, you will see this dude's face freaking everywhere. Yeah, he had a bunch of girls screaming when he showed his face. So next is paywall or Patreon content. I put this VTuber here because she's really prominent in the indie scene. Her name is Menace Menmaki. Menmaki? Just Menace, I think. Look kind of paywall content does Mikan make? I did like behind the scenes content. So usually this kind of stuff is done on Ko-fi, Patreon, and if you do adult content, it's usually released on Fansly or OnlyFans. This VTuber releases her content on Fansly. So you could do ASMR that like doesn't play on YouTube. You could do NSFW content. You could do behind the scenes, which is what I did. I also do art drops sometimes. And then I never release feet pics on the Ko-fi. Wait, have I? I am not. I've never released feet pics on my Ko-fi. You guys are lying to me. Guys, please. No, I haven't. I haven't. You psyched me out. You psyched me out. I can't believe I believed you guys. Business opportunity. Would you guys really want to see my feet? Would you actually pay money for my feet? I feel like that's kind of too much, you guys. You could spend it on a Subway sandwich or something. I did doubt myself, because you guys are really good at convincing, okay? It's for tier 3 subs only. Do I currently have any tier 3 subs? I don't even know how to check. Shout out to the tier 3ers though. Do you want another trip to Japan, Mikan? I'm guessing yes, guys. Guys, nobody's buying my feet pics. Relax, relax, relax. So next, people also do art drops, which I forgot to list. There's people willing to pay for anything. That's true, but probably like 1.5 people, which is not that many people. Why are you even distracting me talking about foot pics? Why is this what you guys are concerned with? If you want to sell your foot pics, you can ask someone else, but you can't ask me. There's another silly girl you could go to. Next we have YouTube versus Twitch, because this is a big contention point for a lot of YouTubers. So Twitch is definitely... I mean, they're both streaming platforms. You can stream on both of them. Sorry, I'm stuffy. I don't watch her. I'll pass the question on. Okay, I'll pass on the question. Twitch is more streamer focused because the entire site is built around streaming. So you will see concepts, ideas, and features that are only on Twitch. And then YouTube is kind of the same, where it's built around video creation, so it's better suited for video creation. However, there are also perks to streaming on YouTube. For example, the revenue split on YouTube is better than it is on Twitch. And I assume this is because they want to get streamers off of Twitch and onto YouTube. However, Twitch has more incentives to donate. So, for example, aside from just the super chats that YouTube has, Twitch has bits, they have drops, they have Streamlabs donos, they have like hype trains, etc. YouTube doesn't really have that kind of stuff. Also, Twitch partner versus YouTube partner, kind of different. It is indubitably harder to become a Twitch partner than it is a YouTube partner. I have been trying to get Twitch partner for 4 years. I have not gotten it. But YouTube partner, I think you just have to get like a specific watch hour number, like, which you can just kind of like keep pumping out videos and eventually it will come, unless you're like really, really bad at making videos. But I feel like with enough dedication, you can kind of be a YouTube partner, not too badly, I think. Also, the community differences. Twitch has a more like streaming / hype community than YouTube, which tends to have a more like relaxed vibe. But YouTube also has like people who just walk into the stream who are children very often. So I'll just have like YouTube, like people come in on the YouTube chat and be like, "Hi, I'm 4," and I have to ban them. Yeah, YouTube is definitely the better platform if your plan is to produce watchable VODs. So if you're like super famous and you don't even give a flip about your VODs being saved, like Iron Mouse, someone probably saves them all for her on like a separate account. But I save all my VODs on YouTube by exporting them, which is kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm happy that I get to do exporting via YouTube. They bring up their parents and they be like, "I have school tomorrow," and it's like, come on! Why are you saying that? Don't you know that your actions have consequences? So yeah, it depends on why you want to stream. If you want to stream and it be relaxing and easy, I'm low-key suggesting Twitch. But I'm doing both of them. Yeah, no VODs is the freaking worst part of Twitch. I got so mad when I learned that my VODs are deleted. You can consult this chart if you want. I'll make it a bit bigger, and then you guys can, Why is it transparent? What the flip? You guys can get a look at it temporarily. Sorry, it's like kind of hard to see. But this is good to look at. If you want to know. Did I just break something? Like I just broke... Yeah, okay, that's great. That's awesome. That's what I get. Twitch and YouTube are also not the only places to stream. You can also stream on TikTok, which is really weird and I don't recommend it. You can also stream on Rumble and Kick, but I also don't recommend it because those are typically the platforms that people go when they get banned off YouTube and Twitch. So you'll see a lot of banned creators such as Dr. Disrespect. I know for a fact that Predator Poachers is on Rumble, and I like Predator Poachers, but I just feel like that's the kind of platform where that kind of content would be at, and VTubing tends to be like wholesome, positive content. So I would not be... Yeah, Aiden Ross is also on Rumble and Kick, and also people who gamble, big gambling streamers. So that's kind of the community that those websites have. So if you want the gambling community, then go ahead and maybe they'll gamble and send you a dono or two. Kick is also for pre-banned content. Yeah, so gambling, like I said. Bilibili is also a place where you can go that's not a bad place to be. However, most of the users are Chinese and Japanese and other forms of Asian. So, if you can't speak those languages and you don't want to learn them, then I wouldn't stream on Bilibili. But there are quite a couple hololivers that used to stream on Bilibili. Lots of VTubers on Kick. I couldn't find a single one. I found the red Miku there and like 2 others. Kick literally had like 8 VTubers last time I checked. I know VTubers just dual stream on Kick and constantly get spam in chat. It is sad. It's for gambling. Well, yeah, there you go. Now you know if you want to stream that you should only stream there if you're gambling. Next! Everyone wants to know, what are the art assets? Where can I get art? Because who doesn't like art? Hold on, I'm just gonna resize this really quickly. You guys have any questions so far? I think you have to get approved to stream on Bilibili since it's a Chinese government website. Is that so? See, I didn't even know that because I don't stream on Bilibili. I don't even like the name Bilibili. Bilibili. Anyways, so art resources. The first website that you might know, because a lot of VTubers talk about it, especially indies, is Skeb. They'll be like, I just got a Skeb! And you're like, what is a Skeb? So Skeb is basically a website where you can commission artists. But the caveat is that you only get to say one thing to them. And then they kind of make art based off the thing that you say. So if you say, I want my VTuber on a jet ski doing backflips. And they like draw you, but they F up your design, and they like draw you with red hair instead of blue hair. That's it, you're done. You're not allowed to contact the artist. And you're not entitled to get your money back. So a lot of Japanese artists do use Skeb really responsibly. They're not on the front page, but they're there. I just looked them up in the search. Reference images are your friend on Skeb. Yeah. So on Skeb, you basically get to make a request, and you get to make a what's it called? A reference image. So you get to give them references, and then you basically say, do you want to draw it? And then they'll say yes or no, and that's it. That's the extent of your communication. And then you can boost them afterwards if you like the art. So yeah, that's kind of your word of warning. There was recently a controversy where a VTuber commissioned something off Skeb, and then the artist posted it on their Skeb afterwards, And then the VTuber was like, you shouldn't do that. But it's in the Skeb's terms of service that the artist can basically do whatever they want with the art. So that's why a lot of people shouldn't use Skeb commercially, but it's like really good for personal art. Wait, hold on, I have to... Billy comes from Beady Beady. Wait, what made you? How do you know these things? You're so nowhere. You're so nowhere. I'm stretching, thank you. I don't know why my nose is so stuffy today. Last time I tried that, they didn't even say no. They just let it expire. That's happened to me before. Any good content recommendations for male VTuber? It just depends on what you want to make. There's a lot of male VTubers that make like gaming content. So like the same kind of content that I do, where I just play like Picross or something. But there's some male VTubers that do like I'm trying to think. The most famous ones, Uo's Lab. He does like science content, so you'll get a lot of science content from him. And then if you want to go like the fan service route, you can look at like Niji Sanji. And I think there's some big indie guys like Shoto and stuff. You can kind of see what they do and just copy the content. But basically, guys can do everything a girl can do. It just depends on whether or not you care whether people watch you. Because I feel like most people don't want to watch guy do sexy ASMR. But I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you. You know, the sky's the limit. So yeah, that's Skeb. Yeah, there's a male VTuber called Shindigs who does creative content where he like pushes the limits of the technology that he owns. So that if that's something you want to do, then you could do that. There's also Twitter. So you can just straight up like... See, I have Gmail there. Because Gmail is, you see an artist on Pixiv, you see an artist on Twitter, you see an artist on Instagram, and you email them, or Bluesky, and then be like, hey, I want to get art from you. So that's also a really popular way to just get art and basically just pay them. Fiverr.com is also another way to get art. I hate Fiverr! Let's put that out there. I freaking hate Fiverr. I got one piece of art from Fiverr, and the artist was not pleasant. They were not pleasant when they DM'd me, and they DM'd me like 8 times asking for a review. And I was like, yeah, I'll review once I get home. And they DM'd me like 8 times in one day, and they're like, can I get a review? Can I get a review? And I was like, okay, I sent a review. And they're like, no, you didn't. And I was like, what do you mean? No, I didn't. So yeah, Fiverr's kind of scary. Also, people get scammed a lot because there's lots of AI on Fiverr. There's also a website called... Yeah, there's lots of AI on Fiverr. So I just wanted to put it out there that people do use Fiverr, but I don't recommend it. Skeb has lots of trade-offs, but really competitive pricing. That's another good thing about Skeb, is that it tends to be cheap. Another good place that you can get free art is something called... Why am I blanking? What is it called? Picrew. So if you look up Picrew, it's picrew.me. It's a website where you can basically make your character in any art style that you want. And it's all free. The only thing is that you have to credit the artist, which is obvious, and that you cannot license it. And it's pretty limited in what you can make, but a lot of people still like it. So I heavily recommend Picrew if you're really strapped for money and just want free art. Yeah, Picrews are great and they're super cute. And I did a lot of them when I first started VTubing because I didn't have the money to spend on art. Then we have VGen, which is probably the best platform currently because you can get commercial use, you can get personal use, you can get SMS use, you can get merchandising, etc. You can have as much communication with your artist as you desire. And the problem with Skeb is that you cannot open a Skeb account if you're not Japanese. You have to have an account with a Japanese bank to do Skeb. So VGen is for everyone. So VGen is my personal favorite. I have an account on VGen where I commission other people and people commission me. And I actually just got a VGen commission where I had somebody make me a PNG tuber for when I do streams with someone who can't do the VTube Studio collab feature, and I'll share it. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. I like it, and I think it's cute. So this is my static PNG tuber that I just got from VGen, and I'm really happy with it. And VGen is really good client protection. It also has really good artist protection. So yeah, I'm a VGen fan. They do take a 5% cut, but I mean, like, low-key, it's kind of worth it. So shout out to VGen. Shout out to VGen. I love you, VGen. Yeah, so these are your options. They're kind of limited, but you know, they are what they are. And if you're busy and you're lazy and you're cheap, go here. Or no, sorry, if you're cheap, go here. If you're lazy, go here. If you've got money and you've got time and you want commercial, go here. If you're super not lazy, go here, 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 here. And if you want to get scammed, go here. I found my model mama actually on Twitter, and I found my rigger mama on YouTube. So, and then I emailed both of them, and I was like, hey, I would like to commission you. So, I think there is a lot of power in just sending a simple email that you don't get from Scab and VGen. You can also get competitive rates too. So next we have actually creating assets, because you know, when you're a VTuber and you're an indie and you're not in Hololive, you're gonna have to make some things yourself. So for example, cute, thank you. A lot of stuff I have to make on my own. So like, for example, this background that you see here, while it was drawn by an artist actually on VGen, it was the layout was drawn by Neppie, and then I drew in every single detail that you see on these desks, and I give it to artists who then polished it. So that was really fun. That was a really fun process. But you know, like, you're gonna need a program. So I used a program called Clip Studio Paint to do it. Then I also have a program called Medibang, which is free. Works really well on Windows. It doesn't work on Linux. Clip Studio Paint also doesn't work on Linux, unfortunately. But I got it working through Wine, and it kind of fails on me every once in a while. But it is good. Krita is a Linux-friendly alternative to these three guys. But there are some pitfalls, which is that it can be hard to use at times. So then, there you know. Also, Adobe Photoshop is really money hungry. Medibang is free. This is not free, but you can get it at a one-time purchase, and I got it at a one-time $50 purchase. This is a free asset website that I use virtually every single day, called Okumono, and it's free to use. So if you just, as long as you give credit. So, and you don't sell the actual designs themselves. So if you look up Okumono on, literally on Google, it'll take you to something called Sozaino Site, SOZAINO_SITE, and you can get a ton of VTuber backgrounds for free. They're really awesome. And then another website here. This is in Japanese, but it's written IRASUTOYA, called Irastoya or Irastoya, and you can get free like assets. So I have a couple assets I've downloaded on my computer from Irastoya that I do use in my presentation sometimes, but I actually didn't use any in this presentation. But for example, one thing that I downloaded from Irastoya was let me see. There's honey toast. So they have lots of food assets on Irastoya. So honey toasts. I've also downloaded this box, this love box. I don't know what I used it for. Probably for Valentine's Day. I've also downloaded this stack of books. So it has literally everything you can think of. It has got books, animals, people, culture items, locations, events. Here's this I downloaded from Irastoya. I also downloaded let me think. This Christmas tree. So it's a really, really handy website. Okumono and Irashtoya are easier if you know little Japanese. That's true. If you can use a free Japanese dictionary on hand, such as jisho.com, JISHO.com, you can get a crap ton of assets for free. Because the English search bar on Okumono and Irashtoya are bad, so you're gonna have to probably translate from Japanese. Krita, my zero cost feature packed hero. I do like Krita. I have nothing bad to say about Krita except that I'm just not good at using it. Man, I can't draw in any way. Yeah, it takes time. Being a VTuber for cheap is definitely not easy. It's a lot of learning. So next is hardware. So, you know, VTubing not only is it not cheap if you want to be the best of the best. Oh, it's .org. Thank you. It's also not that easy to VTube on just any average computer. A lot of people have like, what's it called? A lot of people have pretty advanced hardware. So these are two indies. One is called Fillion and the other is called Aston Martin. And so Fillion uses 3D tracking every stream because she is a 3D VTuber. Aston Martin is a live using VTuber, but she uses something called the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck, if you look this up on Google Images, it's kind of just like an item with a bunch of buttons on it, and it tells you like it like tells you like next screen, and you click on it and it will take you to the next screen. So it's really good for toggles. So like, do you guys see how I have these toggles? Hey. Like my toggles, I don't use a Steam Deck, I actually use my keyboard, and I don't really get the concept behind the Steam Deck, but a lot of big VTubers have it. But I use my numpad. I use my numpad! So, Ashton has a Steam Deck because she's an Elgato ambassador. Why are they called indie? Aren't they like really big streamers in the VTubing scene? Indie just means that you're not part of a company. And as far as I'm concerned, Fillion doesn't have like a team behind her. She might now, but like she's not part of Hololive or whatever. Usually when people think like Corpo, it's usually indie versus Corpo. So Corpo would be like Hololive, Nijisanji, not Videre, sorry. Phase Connect, what is it called? Kawaii Project? Like those are all... Anything really that involves a contract. If it involves a contract for your VTubing, then you are not an indie. She's a part of Mythic, but Mythic only does advertisement stuff, right? Yeah, V Shoujo was also... if Ashton Martin streams on a Steam Deck, is she a Linux streamer too? No, she does not stream on the Steam Deck. She just uses it to switch between toggles, so it's a little bit different. Yeah, Mythic isn't an agency, so that's why I don't consider Fillion Corpo. I consider her a indie. She's just a really big indie with lots of connections. So hardware is just typically any PC that can handle OBS and VTS at the same time. Like I know that earlier I said that you don't need to have YouTube Studio. You could be a PNG tuber, but to that effect, you also technically don't even need a PC. You could just have a phone. But you will need a phone for face tracking. So I said also 3D VTubing software and gaming at the same time because that's what I do. So I have OBS, VTS, and the game running at the same time. I also have my iPhone that takes my face tracking. So if I cover my iPhone's camera, suddenly I stop moving. I also need a microphone, so I have my microphone here, and then my good headphones that are on my head right now. Shout out to Razer. And 3D tracking equipment is not necessary, but it's optional, so I put it down here. And these are the two VTubers that use those equipment. So you can see Fillion uses her 3D software to stream her full body, and then Ashton uses Steam Deck for lots of little toggles and stuff. Next we have the actual stream interface. So what do you see while you stream? Why does it keep shifting? Why? Why does this happen? Okay, anyways, so what are you seeing? So when I stream right now, I'm seeing OBS. Inside of OBS, I see my VTube Studio, which looks like this. I also see my Twitch and YouTube dashboard on my left, so over here on my other monitor. Flavor. Flavor is technically not a corpo, but it is just a group. So it's an indie group. That's a little bit different. A lot of people kind of argue about the difference between a corpo and an indie. But to me, a corpo is just kind of like a people that stream under a contract. So not like a VTuber who gets like a sponsorship and then they sign a contract, but rather their streaming itself is under a contract. So like SVP, Ch4i Pro was also a corpo, and so is Stellarverse Pro. So Nanako Niku from Stellarverse and Goro Gaomi are corpo VTubers. I am indie because I don't have a contract, even though I'm part of a group. Oh yeah, I'm getting Russian comment that's really long and I don't know how to read that quickly. But привет, yes. Random guy who's watching my stream through pregnancy test somehow. A corpo might have some sort of financial backing and paid management staff. That's also another thing. Have you ever tried Steam Element on OBS Studio? Yes? Stream Elements is, well, I don't use Stream Elements, but it's kind of just a way to take donations and also get alerts. So like if you guys subscribe to me, then I'll see it from Stream Elements, which goes to my OBS because it's connected, even though I don't see Stream Elements. If that's what you're asking. Sorry, I'm like a little confused. So yeah, you'll often see your dashboard because it tells you how many people are watching, what they're saying, whether you have subs, whether you have a raid, what your alerts are. Same with your YouTube dashboard, and also your VTube Studio, which I see here has my model information, and then my OBS just shows me like my audio levels. So those are the three things I have open at once. What do the viewers see? So the viewers are gonna see this in the back, which is called a background. So I turn this off. This is my background, which usually people commission for. They also see my model, which is moving. They see my alerts, so when you guys follow me, alerts pop up. You hear my BGM, which is my music. You see my chat, which is right here, down below. My decorations, which are like these. You see my starting soon screen, which is right here. And 1 second So that's that. And the yeah, basically that's it. That's what you guys see. Also the gaming overlay, which I have, this is gonna be messy, but I'm just gonna show you guys raw. This is my game overlay. Looks like this. Hey, there's my chat. Yippee! Okay, I'll go back. Next we have streaming software. So the Discord is a little bit confusing, but I'll explain it in a second. So I said it earlier, but right now I'm using VTube Studio, which you guys saw before in the previous slide. That is one of the best resources for VTubing. And if you want to be a live today VTuber, you might as well consider yourself apt if you don't have VTube Studio. It is a one-time cost of about $30, I think, for the full version without the watermark. So that means you could have the free trial to kind of figure it out yourself. And then you have the oh, my glasses are funny, thank you. And there's also the collab DLC, which is an extra $10. So I say $40 for basically my entire VTubing career. It's pretty damn awesome. So hats off to Denchi for not making this like really obnoxiously expensive. OBS is also free to use and the code is open source. Don't use Streamlabs OBS. Please, for the love of God, do not use it. I don't even know what to say. This is what you stream off of. Do not use Streamlabs OBS. God bless this country. Waterdle is a... I think it's free. But it might be broken in the head. I don't remember. But Waterdle is what you use instead of VTube Studio if you have a 3D model. And Steam is also what you use to play the games that you play on Steam. A lot of VTubers don't play Steam games on stream. So if you don't, then don't get Steam. And Discord is really good for collabs. It's also really good for maintaining a community. So I have a Discord, which you guys can see in my bio on Twitch, which has basically just a place where you guys can talk. Yeah, they did a naughty copying and plagiarizing OBS logos. That's why I don't... Or not logo, just their code. So don't use Streamlabs OBS because they're very untrustworthy. But Discord is really good for connecting with other VTubers too. So if you have a personal Discord, I suggest that you don't use that. You should use a VTuber Discord. Same with Steam. You should make a VTuber Steam. Hello, welcome in. You should use a VTuber Steam and a VTuber VTuber Discord, because you don't want to get your IRL muddied up with your VTuber stuff. Next is how you take payments, because inevitably, if you start streaming, people are gonna want to donate to you. So what is the best way to take money? Most VTubers are gonna take it from these two sources, which is the Streamlabs donation option, or is it Stream Elements? Sorry, Stream Elements, I think. Yeah, potentially a VTuber login for your PC if you're going that deep. It's true. Also, we have PayPal. So the problem with PayPal is that PayPal will dox you if you use a personal account. If you use a personal account, it's just gonna be like, you just gave $16 to Amanda Johnson. So if you are a VTuber and you decide to use PayPal and you're not comfortable with your IRL name getting out, you need to use a business account. You need to use a business account. I use a business account. And you have to be honest and list things properly and not lie, because they can take your money down for whatever reason. So what I do is I like to take all my money out of PayPal as soon as I get it. Because I don't trust them. But yeah, PayPal is kind of one of the best places to get money if you can keep your privacy in check. But it is really privacy unsafe, so you have to be really careful when using it. Another is Ko-fi. Ko-fi takes money through PayPal and Stripe. So Ko-fi will dox you if you've got your PayPal insecurely set up. So have that securely set up if you want to take money through Ko-fi. Stripe is a way to securely take payments because I think it just goes like directly to your card. So yeah, if you guys have a Stripe set up, then you guys should use Stripe. But a lot of people don't have Stripe, which is why most people default to PayPal. Bitcoin is another way to do things. I actually don't have a Bitcoin wallet, but there are lots of VTubers that do, such as Chromu. If you go in her Twitch panels, she has a Bitcoin wallet, so you can just straight up donate Bitcoin to her wallet there. Ko-fi doesn't only dox the donator, I think it also doxes the receiver, unfortunately. Throne is also really good. If you live in a country that doesn't do PayPal and doesn't do Stripe, such as Russia, then you can take money through Throne. Send me Bitcoin! Send me 5 Bitcoin, please! So yeah, Throne is really good because not only can you get money through it, you can also get items through it. So Throne, you can get Amazon gifts through it if you decide to... Yeah, that's my salary for 10 years. That's why I want 5 BTC. I want 5 BTC for a Papa John's pizza, please. I'm humble. What's the exchange rate on this? That's gonna be 0.00. Bitcoin, thank you very much. Thank you, Will Fixes. So yeah, we got Throne, which is technically not for money donations like these guys are, but Throne you can donate like something off your VTuber's Amazon wishlist. You can also just straight up put money on there, like you can put increments of $5 to $10 and people can donate that way. So that's kind of one cool thing about Throne is also it doesn't dox you. It's really hard to get doxed on Throne. Next is social media. So VTubers don't just stream, they also tweet a lot. They tweet a lot. If you go on Twitter and you search up hashtag VTuber, you'll see so many freaking VTubers. Twitter is currently the biggest VTuber platform. However, you'll see a lot of VTubers on Bluesky. You'll see a lot on Xiaohongshu if they're Chinese or Japanese. You'll see quite a few English-speaking VTubers on Instagram. A lot on TikTok. And there's a lot of Spanish-speaking VTubers. Like ESL tubers and stuff, like basically South American VTubers are on Facebook Gaming, so that's what this top one is. I think I'm missing. There's also there's like such a limited amount of Mastodon and stuff, so I just didn't even think to put it on there. What's Twitter? Good question. Good question. So why even use social media? Social media is a funnel. So it funnels 1/4 to 3/4 of your audience. They can come from Twitter. So if you guys know the VTuber struggling right now, Henya the Genius, her original fame came from a YouTube clip of her laughing like a kettle on Twitter. She's from Bomb's project. Well, she wasn't in Bombs when she was Henya, but when she was in Bombs, she was Pikami Amano. I've never seen the Facebook Gaming logo before. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Only really Spanish speakers I'd see on there, so I don't know if you speak Spanish, you can Facebook game. There's also Chibi Doki. If you guys know her, a lot of her clips went really viral on Twitter and they funneled into her Twitch audience. So if you use social media correctly, you can gain a lot of viewers from there. I would say at least 1/4 of my viewers come from social media, and a lot of my viewers that are on here on Twitch and YouTube will follow me on my social media and see updates. So like if I'm sick, I could be like, hey guys, I'm not feeling well, and I'll tweet it out and then people could get updates. So that's what I really like about social media, is that it can be used for good. You should keep your original goal in mind though. So like if you're here to spread positivity, and for example, Abigail Dovely was there to spread the word of Jesus. She did it, she used Twitter for that. But some VTubers, for example, political VTubers, want to do politics, so they will put their politics on their Twitter. So it's important to know what you want to do. I see a lot of people streaming really normally on Twitch and YouTube, but then they use their Twitter to get in fights. And I would be lying if I said that that didn't happen to me before. Discord also works as social media. That's a really good tool to cultivate a tight-knit audience. But public drama will bring you attention, so you have to make sure if this is the attention you want. So for example, political and commentary VTubers, they feed off of drama, like vampires. I'm just kidding. But anyways, they do feed off that kind of drama. So if that's what you want, then that's what you're free to do. But if you're just a freaking arts and crafts VTuber like me, I should keep my mouth shut when drama happens. I don't really practice what I preach all the time, but I really do try. I really do try. And you should keep kind of like this idea in mind that you're viewing your profile as if somebody has never seen you before and they're seeing it for the first time. So I've already made a blunder by having my profile image and my header banner be different. So I need to fix that. But as you can see, I've got my website and my bio. I've got an aesthetic like biography page. I've got my hashtags in there. I've got my mama tachi, so my artists are in there. And I've got my Twitch and my Katabasis plug. That's right there. So my VTuber group. So I just viewed it as if I have never met me before. And I'm like, wait, why is she different? Why are her friends great? What is this? So that's how I know that I need to change it. I need to change things up a little bit. Yeah, sometimes the taken costs dearly. So there are some VTubers that blow up from drama and they get like really good exposure from it. There are also some VTubers who get in the drama. There was like one where some girl was really upset that somebody was making like bootleg plushes of her character, and she started being like really racist to him. And she left the platform after getting reverse harassed. So, and there's also the big Skeb controversy where a large creator called out Skeb and then Skeb called them back out and they had to do a public apology. So sometimes it's best to just keep your mouth shut. Even if you really think that you've got the right take, it doesn't even matter. Cause like, listen to me, I think all my takes are right. Skeb's not a person, Skeb is a website, but they have like marketing teams. But even if you think you're super right, there's gonna be that one guy, like you'll be like, I think waffles should be the #1 dessert ever. But then there'll be one guy that'll be like, so you fucking eat pancakes, huh? As a VTuber, you need to be aware that there's gonna be people out there who just want to rip to shreds, no matter what. So you should keep that in mind when you tweet. Especially if you're a big VTuber. If you're a small VTuber and there's a guy doing that, that's probably messed up. And you should report him for harassment. But if you're a really big VTuber, like if you're in Hololive, if you're like the size of like Fallen Shadow or something, who's a really big indie VTuber, just know that there's always gonna be people out there who disagree with you, even if you say the right thing. You know? People will misinterpret you. So try to keep the spiciness to a minimum, unless that's what you're purposefully looking for. Next, we have popular services. So as I mentioned, we have Discord, which people use to keep in touch with their fans. Yeah, even if you're small, one day you might end up huge and then people pull up those past tweets. So there has been times like where VTubers, now I don't want to hear your guys' commentary on this because I swear to God, but there have been VTubers who've gotten really big and then clips will be pulled up from when they were like really small and they said like the N-word or something. So if you're aiming to get big and you're small, don't think that you have a pass to just do whatever you want. Just imagine that everything you say will come to light someday and that it's gonna follow you into your fame. So that's why I'm saying that if you stream for fun versus if you stream for fame, it's gonna be a very different experience. So because VTubing is a really relatively new field and it continuously evolves, like I mean VTube Studio wasn't even a thing when VTubers took off. That's how new this is. VTube Studio is like what, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years old maximum. You need to learn how to become flexible and to use new technologies. So at the beginning I was like, I don't want a Discord. Discords are dumb. But then I realized like this is how you foster a community and show them that you care about them. So I did establish a Discord. And you have to learn how to responsibly use it too. Marshmallow and Curious Cat are also really good ways to anonymously communicate with your fans publicly. So like if people want to ask you like, what's your shoe size? Are your feet stinky? They can send you a marshmallow. And one time I had a guy who was like really mad that I used marshmallow. He's like, you should use Curious Cat because you're a fucking NTuber. Hey, weren't you that Whoberry Dingler from a few years ago? That's literally what's gonna happen. Yeah, some crazy person's gonna have all your lowest moments archived somewhere. I bet it. I bet. Sometimes I blunder on stream and I'm just like, this is gonna haunt me, isn't it? Also there's Luppet, which is a 3D, I think it's called Luppet. I'm really sorry if I got it wrong. But it's a 3D face tracking add-on, which you can use in VRC and Waterdale, which will make your expressions even more realistic. So I'm saying like every day you'll open Twitter and there'll be some guy that's like, hey, I invented this groundbreaking piece of technology. You need to learn how to use it. If you want, that is. I used to be really like adverse to that kind of stuff because I'm just very lazy. But then I realized like that's what you gotta do if you wanna grow. the amount of extra effort that it takes for people to figure out motto is probably a good filter. I think so too. Because I'm less apt to get harassed. Also, if you're a VTuber, you're probably gonna get death threats, so you should just get used to it automatically. I'm kind of good with death threats though, because I don't consider them like, I don't know. I've gotten told KYS so many times that like it's just like, huh? Oh, okay. But it's like, it's scary. Then you get emailed your address, then the death threats, then they become serious. But anyways, you should probably get expected to get bullied. Yeah, people have threatened to hurt me for all sorts of things. But I don't really care because I know that they're not gonna do it 99% of the time. It'd only be scary if they started taking photos of my boat. If they started taking photos of my boat, then I would be like, okay. I got a little panicky. I'm gonna get a little panicky, but like most of the time it's just like whatever. This guy's mad. That's where good way to get into this is warnings. Is that you will get hate no matter what. Yeah, you got a death threat on eBay because you outbid someone in a Japanese Pokemon card. You could just straight up have an annoying voice and people will tell you to kill yourself. And I think that that's really like that. I mean, it sucks, but like it's like whatever. I've honestly stopped like even processing them. Like a lot of people, they get really hurt by it. But when people tell me that, I'm just like, man, fuck you. That's what I say in my head. Because it's just kind of like an internet-y way to flip someone off, kind of. So get expected. Expect that it will happen. And people will get mad at you, and they will call you. They'll say that you're a whore because you, like, breathed around a guy that you don't even know or something. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's... I once had a friend who would scour websites for my name. And she would send me things that people have said about me. And I'm not gonna repeat it on stream. But just imagine somebody being like, I'm going to touch Mikan very inappropriately. Shout out to Clovette, by the way. She would send me screenshots. And then I'd be like, wow, that random guy wants to touch me. But yeah. Assume that all DMs that you can send are leaked by whoever you're speaking with. So that's another thing, is like I see a lot of VTubers getting in big group chats and hating on other VTubers. You should just kind of assume that one VTuber is gonna screenshot it. I've been in group chats where I like had this exact premonition. I was like, I feel like this group chat will get leaked. And so people in the group chat are talking sharts and they're like, my boyfriend, my boyfriend, my boyfriend. I'm here completely silently. Boom! 3 weeks later, group chat gets leaked. The VTubers inside are in trouble. And then I'm just sitting there like, see, I knew it. This is why you never talk shit in private. Try really hard not to talk shit in private. Also try really hard not to share your personal life. Because, in the past, I would like chat with VTubers. I'd be like, look at my manga shelf. That's what I did. I like was looking through my DMs with like I used to have this VTuber friend that like we were I would argue that we were close, but we ended up growing apart and she got really famous too. So it feels like weird when I see her because it's like, whoa, she's super famous, but she used to be my buddy. It feels so weird. But I looked through my DMs with her because I was trying to find an art asset. And I saw my DMs where like I was showing her my manga shelf and I was like, why did I do that? And I would be like, because this is when I really first started VTubing. I was like, my dad gave me $20 and I spent it on Skep. That's how I would talk to her. And she would be like, awesome, kiddo, good job. And I was just like, why do I talk like that? But whatever. Anyways, imagine if I said something worse. Imagine if I was like leaking my address. How many big scandals of private chat leaks do we need to go through before everyone understands? That's actually literally what happened. I had learned that a VTuber was talking about me. About me. Very negatively. Because basically, some VTuber came to me and they're like, hey, is this allegation true? And I was like, what? No, where'd you hear this? And they sent me an entire zip file of a chat log between VTubers. That was really interesting. And I was just like, oh, Oh my goodness! That's crazy. So imagine, like, you know, like I haven't even had my shit really leaked, but if it was, like, you should just go into conversations kind of expecting that. A lot of VTubers don't. A lot of VTubers, even girls, are in servers like yada yada yada, my boyfriend, yada yada yada, my job, yada yada yada, where I live. And it's just like, don't do that. So this is my last rule. Don't fucking dox yourself. Assume that every friend you have, even the ones that you really trust, are somehow out to get you. And then it kind of like makes things a little bit better for you in the long run. Cause I used to blunder in the past. I would talk way too much about my personal life, and I'd be like, I got a job, and I went to school, and I got a Starbucks. Here's my Starbucks, and I would send the Starbucks. Idiot. But I think I like went back and deleted it all. Some VTubers will spend hours compiling screenshots but won't hit start stream. I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for those other VTubers compiling screenshots, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known what people were saying about me. So in a way, I'm a little bit grateful. Thank you! Imagine doxing yourself in your debut. That's happened to Salome Hyaku Mountainbaya. She doxed her throat, but that's honestly not that bad. Getting Starbucks is a slippery slope. I was actually a Dunkin' girl, so I already lied to you. But now I'm telling the truth. I'm really a Dunkin' girl. Thank you, screenshot compilers. Yeah, shit-talking others with your VTuber name is a really bad idea. When I dislike a VTuber, you know who I tell? I tell my friends who don't know anything about VTubers. I tell my friends, like literally every time I get frustrated, I'm just like, okay. And then I log off and then I tell my bestie, my IRL. And I think that's kind of saved my butt a 5 billion trillion times. So streaming is also a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what you feel about it is what you will get out of it. Like, I know a lot of people will go into VTubing and they'll say like, I want to be famous. And then they say like, if I don't get viewers, I'm going to kill myself. I've literally heard that before. Or just, I'm going to be really depressed. And so then they'll start streaming and they'll have low numbers and then they'll get really like anxious about it. So like basically, they'll have low numbers, they'll get anxious, they'll get depressed, they won't stream, and then they'll come back and they'll get low numbers and they'll be even more anxious and depressed. So you need to kind of just come into VTubing with a mindset and then hold it for as long as you can and make it a positive mindset. Even if you are really interested in numbers, you have to keep thinking of it as an uphill battle. And that is a positive uphill battle. This actually happened recently where there was a really big streamer called Mizkif, and I'm not gonna get into his controversies or anything, but he was at one point one of Twitch's biggest streamers, and he had a couple scandals. And his viewership did tank at the time, and it was shown that he was really depressed. And he was really depressed because his viewership was so low. So that's why I think like you hear it time and time again, don't focus on viewership, but it really is true. Like, you have to be able to stream to 5 people. And it isn't like, stream to 5 people until you get big. It's stream to 5 people, stream to 10,000 people, and then stream back to 5 people. Like, you should be able to handle that. Because if you're not able to handle that, then you're not able to handle being a big streamer. Because there's so many poor VTubers I've seen that are talking about going from 200 viewers to 100 viewers, and I can see how much it hurts them. So you have to be complacent with being a 2-view forever. It drives people literally crazy. But yeah, the key is to see the internally and then lack concern externally. Yeah, that applies to streaming in general. So like when VTubers slight me, I'm gonna go and be like, Ch4i, this VTuber is so mean to me. But I just go, okay, and then I move on. And that would probably save my ass, because I think if I talk shit about every single person that has caused a problem for me, then I would have no friends. Like I would like if you got irritated by every viewer and you talked about it in private, and then you got irritated by a VTuber, and then you talked to another VTuber, and you just got this entire web of shit talking. And I've literally seen people crumble from that. That's kind of happened with a couple really big VTuber dramas that I don't want to bring up. So like that's super important. Super, super important. All the biggest VTuber scandals are just webs of people shit talking each other. And numbers obsessing. So like I said up here, you can stream for fame. But that doesn't mean that that should be like, if you have no fame then you should kill yourself, because that would suck really bad. Really, really bad. Branding is also really important. I know that was kind of like edgy. Now we're just going back to normal stuff, but logo is important. Logo is a really good way to kind of just like stamp yourself in the corner, and then people know who you are. People should be able to tell your theme and who you are by your logo. My logo works for me, but it doesn't work for my Yaho farm, so I'm getting a second logo. This is Takanashi Kiara's fan logo, so I don't think this is her actual logo. But she does, I don't know if she has an actual logo. But she really should, because I think they're really good for branding. And a lot of VTuber logos are super complicated. I think it's kind of the meta, but honestly, the more simple you get, the better it could be for you. You want a good small logo. So I've seen some really good logos out there, but I can't put my finger on anyone right now. Hashtag is also really important. A lot of VTubers have hashtags that they put right on their Twitter. So I went to Emmy Beast's Twitter, I mentioned her earlier, and I just scrolled down, and literally her first post had her hashtags in it. It had Draw Emmy, which is her art tag. It had Kimochimi, which is her NSFW tag. It has Uo Emmy, which is her clips tag, or her live tag, and then Bisuwu is her memes tag. So that's how viewers can support you, is by looking at your tags and deciding which ones to fill it up. So my tags is, I have Piconso, which is my art tag. I have Clipcon, which is my clip tag, and then I have I think that's it. Is that it? I think I only have two, because I'm not like a massive VTuber, so I don't need like several different tags. Yeah, those are my only two tags. Yeah, the multicolored stroke thing I'm not too fond of, but it looks good sometimes. Rip Miko Z-Cod. I'm sorry. It's just no one used it. So I was like, even I didn't use it. I use my art tag. I use my clip tag. I don't have an NSFW tag, so it's kind of just up to you what type of tags you want. But I know that like I'm not big enough to need like a live tag or an NSFW tag, so I just don't have one. A website is also really good to have in your bio. I have my website in my bio, which is katabasis.moe, which I organize myself. What's this, guys? What's this? And a fan name, a mascot. So I have my fans, who are the Sakanakama, and I think it's really good to have a fan base that can imprint on your on the characters that you've made for them. I've seen a couple of VTubers who have just had like fan concepts that like when you look at, you're like, Jesus, I would not want to be that. No offense, but to be truthful, some people might think that about Sakanakama, but I really like Sakanakama because they're in their little business suits and they go to work. They go to work and they're tiny and they're cute. The secret NSFW tag. What are you talking about? Can Katabasis have a separate arc tag? That's if you guys want to do that, I wouldn't mind it. I think that'd be fun. A lot of people have a card. Yeah, card is really good too. Some people do find it irritating to have to click into links lists and then find like from there like where to go, but I feel like card is really helpful for me, at least, because before I got a website, you should have your main streaming platform though before your website. So I like to have both. I have my website and my streaming platform. Because some people, they just want to get to the goddamn Twitch. Streaming hours is also important. This is a consideration a lot of VTubers take. Unfortunately though, I'm a lazy piece of shit and I don't really care about what my streaming hours are. I know I should. Kiki streams at the same time every day. I don't. I stream whenever I'm available because I have a JOB. Mikan, Chikan, stop, you guys. You're freaking lying. There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. I don't believe it. Some VTubers also have an AI art tag. So streaming hours, this is a website. You can go to livereacting.com, best time to go live on TikTok, and it will show you best time to go live on Twitch. It will show you the best time to go live on Twitter, YouTube, etc. And this will help you maximize your viewers if that's what you care about. For a lot of VTubers though, consistency is more important than hours. So if you can't stream at peak hours, it's okay. You can still stream at the same time every day. I know a lot of VTubers who were really consistent, such as Grimmy in the beginning of her career. I'm not saying that she's not consistent now, but she has changed her times. So Grimmy was consistent at the beginning of her career, so was Clavio, and they both blew up. I also think that Clavio streamed at really like underserved hours. So for a lot of VTubers, timing is super important. Hours can also be affected by the type of content that you stream, such as ASMR. So like, if the best time is in the daytime for you, if you're streaming ASMR, it might be at night. So you might want to change it to nighttime. Yeah, hours you stream can be valuable to your growth. Next is my last and most important slide. When in Rome, if you want to become a VTuber, it's best to get at least somewhat acquainted with the culture of VTubing. I'm not saying they have to know everything, because I mean, shit, I don't even know, like, the name 40 VTubers. I probably could name 120 VTubers, but whatever. That's not the point. VTubing is rooted in J-pop and idol culture, such as the terms oshi and kamioshi, which you hear a lot. You also hear liver thrown around a lot. You have to know these terms because people are just going to use them, such as scab. They're going to use them pretty interchangeably. Like, oh, she's my oshi. So it's good to know. It's just good to know these things because, like, when you get into streaming, you don't know it. People are going to be like, how did you get here? Like, what? Yeah, Clovia was very, very late for a lot of people, but she helped the people that weren't able to stream. Or weren't able to watch streamers early in the morning because there just wasn't anybody. So good for Clavio. Also, there's like a really big like kind of idol culture in general. So like people will put a lot of streamers on a pedestal, and for a lot of people, they're not comfortable with that. There's also a little bit of parasocialism, which I know that kind of like in Western content creation spaces, it's really a no-no. But in a lot of VTubing spaces, that's kind of the norm. So what I put at the bottom is, if you don't like how certain VTubers do things, you're free to not do it. Like, you don't have to participate in idolatry, you don't have to participate in GFE, you don't have to do all the idol stuff, you don't have to be like, she's my Oshi. You don't have to like lollies, you don't have to want to deal with corpo stuff. But just don't complain at people who do, because, you know, they were there first, they're just adhering to what they know. Like, so that's kind of what I think. Like, there's a lot of things that I am not too good with in VTubing. Like, it's really hard to treat my fans like my boyfriends because it has like an expectation that I'll date you guys forever. And it's like, I don't know, maybe someday this mink will grow up and this mink will find someone. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. So, and I don't wanna have to like break up with you guys when that time comes, you know? But I'm not gonna go to GFE VTubers and be like, you fucking sluts and you fucking whores, because that's just like why? That would be assholey. The real reason is because we are disgusting. Actually, I like that. Having a spicy tag is a good idea to keep it from ending up onto the regular art tag. I'm not gonna lie with you guys, I like spicy art. I think you could just put the spoiler on it, and then it will be okay. There's also kind of like this big like controversy with like lolicon stuff in VTubing, and I won't talk about it except for now. But it's like, if you don't like lolicon, that's fine. But don't harass VTubers and fans who are into that. I just think if you don't like it, then just don't follow them. And you can just mute them. There's a lot of VTubers who do stuff I don't like. Like, there's a lot of political VTubers. I just press the mute button. So, it's, like, also, keep in mind, in a lot of Japanese content creation spaces, people are not as vocal about their likes and dislikes as they are in Western spaces. So, if you don't like something, it's best to just avoid the drama. And just press mute. If nobody's getting hurt, then you can just press mute. Even if someone is really freaking annoying, which I think some VTubers are, I just press mute. Because it's not worth it. Like, I'm not gonna take my time to argue with them, and I'm not gonna try to change them. And if you stream, you shouldn't do it either, because it's, in the end of the day, it's gonna take away from your content, and it's also gonna lead to more harassment on your side. How do VTubers feel about shipping? A lot of VTubers like it, a lot don't. I guess it just depends on the VTuber. I always assume the streamer is seeing someone. That's fair, I guess. If you want to do that, you can. I don't know why, but I can just kind of like tell when looking at a streamer that they've got a buddy. I can just kind of smell it off of them. But maybe I'm weird. I have a lot of controversial opinions about the state of things in the Western fandom, but the best reaction, is just mute. It's just mute. There's like some of my favorite VTubers are VTubers that just stay out of it, and I know it's tough to say that because like you want to fight for what you think is right, and you want to fight for justice, and you want to be like, don't do this or please do this, but it's not worth it. Lily Hops is one of my favorite VTubers, and she's a bastion of positivity, and she never fights with people, even if they're really mean to her or if she disagrees with them a lot. And there's been times where I've disagreed with what Lily has said on her Twitter, but she's so friendly and like cordial and positive about it that it's like, I don't even care. And I'm just not gonna interact. So this is something that even I struggle with, but I want to tell you guys because I think it's really important if you want to be a VTuber. Karaoke, covers, and concerts are really normal. So like I said, it's rooted in idol culture. So you're gonna see a lot of VTuber concerts. So if you get into VTubing and you're like, whoa, wait, why is everyone doing covers? Do I have to release covers too? Technically, no. But that's just kind of like why that happens. Also, like, who doesn't like to hear cute girls sing? Big agencies are gonna dominate the field. So you'll hear a lot of like Hollow, Niji, FaZe. You'll also see small agencies like SVP and Kawaii. VShoujo's not an agency, but they used to be like the three in the trifecta. It was like Hollow, Niji, VShoujo. Now it's Hollow, Niji, FaZe. Also expect a bit of a male-female divide for male talents, and the reason why historically this has happened, as opposed to like regular Twitch women, because if you just like see normal women on Twitch, they're usually going to be interacting with guys, because guys are like half of the population of the earth. But for VTubing and idol culture, there's been repercussions for idols who have interacted with men or even found a boyfriend. There was like a scandal in this big idol group called AKB48, where one talent was found to actually secretly have a boyfriend, and they punished her by making her shave her head, which is freaking crazy. Like, that's just like, whoa, I didn't know that was legal. But anyways, that's kind of like, it kind of carried over. So you'll see a lot of girl VTubers that would be like, I'm not gonna interact with guys. And so if you're looking to be a guy VTuber, I would just say don't interact with them. That's pretty hardcore. Yeah, it's hardcore. There's been kind of a war on Twitter recently where it's like, what? You don't want to interact with guys? You're so misogynistic. But it's, I really don't believe it. I just think it's part of the idol. It's kind of like the untouchable girl like idol thing. But there's a lot of VTubers that aren't like that, like Chibidoki streams with guys on the regular. So does Solen. A lot of the Niji Sanji girls stream with their male jedmates. Hololive, they generally don't, but they're like, Gura never streamed with a guy, I think. Nobody really, but I think Crazy Ori, she streamed and did collabs. There's also Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. So whatever you want, there's a VTuber for it. So if you want VTubers who are completely separated from that, you can find them. If there's VTubers who you don't want to be separated, you can also find them. I think it's like a pretty 40-60 split nowadays, at least. But yeah, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When you go to Japan, you don't talk loudly on the subway, even if it kind of inconveniences you. Even if you really want to be loud. I like to be loud. I like to talk loudly. But whenever I'm in Japan, I talk like this in public. You know? But yeah, that's my presentation. I will take some questions before we start our pop quiz. So do you guys have any questions? Throw them at me. If not, I'm going to start thinking of my questions because I didn't think of them before stream. Because I'm bad. My lips are dry. I feel like it's been getting dry recently. My mouth is dry. Ugh. I feel like you guys can hear my mouth being dry. That's like kind of gross, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had a really big water cup, but I didn't want to put it in the dishwasher. I wanted to hand wash it, but I didn't get around to hand washing it. And it's just a water cup, but it's like I like to hand wash my water cups every now and then. I had one and wasn't wanting to interrupt. Oh, it's okay. I get it. I get it. You guys can have some time. I'll look at the chat here. Hi chat, how are you? I have to fix my hair. I forgot about it. I'll fix it right now. I'll fix it right now. I'll show you guys how I do it. You go to settings. You go to hotkeys. You go to... Can I do this? Can I just do this? Yeah, I fixed it. Nice. I just got home, but what do you think Valve's new headset will affect 3D VTubing at all? I think it will make it easier. I think it will be quite a pain to set up for the first time. I don't know when it's coming out. Do you guys know when it's coming out? His name is Gabe Newell, but they call him Gavin. At least I call him Gavin whenever I say it. I don't like it. Gabe N. Why don't they just say Gabe? Everyone knows what Gabe is. It's like when you say like Obama. Everyone knows who Obama. Actually, I've never met another Obama before. Sometime in 2026. That's not bad. That's pretty close. There's some really good game trailers I see, and they'll be like releasing it 2039. Okay, no questions. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and begin my quiz. So my questions to you guys. Okay. Okay. What is the name of the program that you use to stream? OBS! OBS, yes! Okay, so full Pixis, you're getting stripped and flogged. Same with you, Rihanna, you're getting stripped and flogged as well. Oh, Reality's End, you're getting stripped twice and then flogged, just because you said slobs. I'm going to use a very heavy paddle with spikes on the end. There's gonna be nails on it. Bam, bam, bam! X-split. Meredith, you're getting flogged. Bam, bam, bam! No, you're not into that. I'm gonna put a leash on you guys and walk you around like a dog. And then Bazite. Oh my god. You guys are lucky I just developed a stomach ache, because I'd be slapping you a lot harder right now. Next question. Next question. If you get this wrong, I'm taking the noose out from inside my desk. What is the name of the 3D program that you use to VTube? Name any 3D program for VTubing. You've 10 seconds. What did VTube Studio? Cake Cheese, you're getting blindfolded and shoved into my Iron Maiden. BC Face works. What the frick is Saw? Vinyan kind of works, I guess. Okay, move along. Move along. What is the name of the VTuber that I mentioned earlier in the presentation that uses a Steam Deck. Zaza. If you get this right, you get a lollipop. If you get this wrong, I'm going to chain you to the wall. Aston Martin! Yes! Okay, Reality's End is gonna chain to the wall because you freaking spelled it wrong. You didn't even spell it like the car way. It's Aston Martin. Aston. Right? It's actually Stream Deck. Is it Steam Deck or Stream Deck? Man, whatever. I'm the teacher. I'm allowed to be wrong. It's Aston Martin. Okay. Now, here's the VTuber pipeline. First, you get the design concept. Then, you get the reference sheet. Then, you get a live 2D model. And then, where do you take your live 2D PSD? If you get this question wrong, you'll be kicked in the face. Boom, 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 boom! Yes, the rigging! The rigging! Home! A Ringo! Boom, 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 boom! Oh, was that your tooth that just flew out? My bad. Tawam, you become a forever V-tweeter, never debut, and just keep retweeting the rig raffles. Yes, live 2D cubism, you guys are so smart. Okay. Next question. Name one of the art resources that I listed that's not Skeb. If you get this wrong, I'm gonna pull on your hair. Yes, Piku Vision Fiber Irastia? No, that's not what I meant. But I'll let you have a pass because I kind of explained that question a little wrong. Your Reality's End, I just said anything but Skeb. Kami, thank you so much for follow. Welcome. Okay, you're getting your hair pulled anyways. I chewed on your hair too just because I got mad. Man, the YouTube chatters are like literally not even trying. Not even trying. Anyways, we have one last question. The last question is, what precautions do you need to take if you decide to use PayPal as a VTuber? If you get this question wrong, I'm spitting on you. If you get this question right, you'll get a head pat. Doxing, correct. Yes, business account. Yes, you guys are so smart. Wait, did Reality's End get it right finally? Give a fake name? No. That's wrong. You should never give a fake name. For shame, Vulpixis. Reality's End, you know what? Just leave. You're trying to be spit on. I could tell. You just leave. Just get out of here. I'm pointing at the door. Okay, guys. I want to know what tomorrow's stream is gonna be because I kind of forgot. Be truthful. Yeah, you should be truthful, but you should still hide your address. Okay. Oh, we're gonna do Rap Picross tomorrow on Thursday, right? Or is it Wednesday? Wait, how's it Tuesday? Wait, it's Thursday. Yeah. Okay, I think I have brain damage. So tomorrow we're gonna play more Rap Picross because I freaking love Rap Picross. Yeah, we missed today because I had a W. Anyways, I'll see you guys, and I'll put a little poll on my Discord whether we wanna do Yaru Rap Picross or normal Mikan Rap Picross. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow, I think, and then after we're gonna be doing some hand cams later down the week. I'm gonna raid this random VTuber that I've never seen before because her model is like really cute. Oh wait, no, she's doing a massive group collab. Oh, you know, I'm gonna raid Mota. I like Mota. Okay. Alright. Ray Muta. I hope you guys have a good night. I love you guys, and I'll kiss your little foreheads, except the students who got all the questions wrong. Okay, bye-bye. Everyone say bye-bye. Mikan, thecon.com. Bye!